So, I just moved to a brand new city, but there's one problem. I don't know anybody here. About 2 weeks ago, I moved across the country to Austin, Texas. After getting complacent in my hometown and not enjoying where I was at, I knew it was time for a change. It was a big risk considering I know nobody there and anything could happen, but I decided to push past my doubts and excuses and go through with it. And since being here, I haven't made one friend. Over time, I've built up some pretty good social skills, but sometimes I still find it difficult due to me being an introvert. And just when I felt like I was really getting into the groove of being more sociable, the pandemic hit and I spent 90% of my time inside interacting with people only online. And ever since then, my social skills have degraded quite a bit. I came to Austin for this challenge to level up in all areas of my life and experience a different vibe of people, and that's what I intend to do. So today, I'm gonna put myself out there, face my fears, and try to make some new friends. But first, I think I need to look more presentable. I just woke up an hour ago and I'm already headed out because I have a haircut appointment. First impressions are everything, and to mitigate the weirdness that comes off from me having a camera and asking people if they want to hang out, I'm gonna get a haircut and try to look and present myself as good as possible. So hopefully that helps. Ah, boy, here we go. As I was getting a haircut and chatting with my hairstylist, I realized this was just the warm-up I needed before I went out into the field. The field, now I sound like a cringy dating coach. But seriously, I think that if you are going to take on this challenge of meeting new people, having some sort of social warm-up like chatting with a cashier or a random person is super helpful. Once my haircut was finished, I realized I didn't have any real plan for the rest of my day. Because of this, and the fact that my hairstylist was a very sociable guy, I thought I'd ask him for some tips. Hector, thank you for the cut.
Oh man, no doubt.
Looks amazing. Looks just like I get it back home. So I'm brand new to the city. Don't know anybody here. I'm trying to make some friends.
Well, you know me now, so we're good.
Right, that's true. That's my first friend. Where do you suggest I go?
You know, I would hit up some of the creek spring areas around here. There's just a lot of people in your age group coming from other cities. So you want to find that, that frequency of good people that'll help vibe, kind of show you around the city.
Awesome. Thanks, man. After getting in a great workout, taking a cold shower, putting on deodorant, and slipping on my favorite outfit, it was finally time to go and put myself out there. All right, we're ready. Thanks to Hector, the hairstylist, I have a plan for 3 places that I want to go, maybe even more. First, we're gonna go to a park that I've already been to when I visited Austin in early December. Then I'm gonna go downtown. I remember going to Whole Foods and I don't know, there was just like a lot of young people there, so maybe I'll sit down and talk to people at Whole Foods. Then a little later, I'm going to go to this outside beer garden. I think it's a beer garden, that's what they said. And catch people while they're getting their buzz on, so they'll be more friendly and maybe I can go up to them without getting nervous. But as you'll see, things didn't exactly go as planned. So let's step out the door and go to our first location. As I walked up to the park, I had extreme nervousness and my mind started to flood with excuses as to why this was a bad idea. Stuff like, nobody would talk to me with a camera in my hand. I'm gonna look like some creep and nobody is actually gonna want to become friends with me. At most, they're gonna say hi and then they'll probably say no. But I remembered what I had taught myself. This is what your mind does when you're about to do something uncomfortable that will help you evolve as a person. And the worst that they could say was no. And I also remembered what I learned in the book summaries on communication using the sponsor of today's video, Shortform. Shortform is the world's best guides to nonfiction books. Shortform is basically like book summaries on steroids. They're super detailed, they cover all the book's key ideas, and have interactive exercises too. So like I said, I've been reading a few book summaries on communication, and I've also just been touching up on books that I've read in the past, but I've kind of forgotten all their information, and I just need the key points. One book summary that I find myself rereading when I go into situations like this is The Fine Art of Small Talk by Deborah Fine. And in that summary, they talk about complimenting someone, which you're gonna see me use later in this video once I start approaching people. 3 genres I think you guys would be really interested in are communication, relationships, and self-improvement. It is without a doubt the best book summary platform out there, so if you're interested, you can join through my link shortform.com/Cole and you'll receive 5 days of unlimited access and an additional 20% discounted annual subscription. This will give you access to thousands of book guides for the price of 1 book a month. So once I calmed my mind after it being flooded with all of those excuses, I decided to approach a friendly looking group of people. It's good, guys.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How you doing? Getting the slacklining on. You can sit on it.
A little hungover.
What are your names?
I'm Connor.
Connor.
Yeah. Josh.
Cole.
Nice to meet you, Cole.
I've always wanted to slackline. I've been working on my control, but
Have you been on one? You said Ethan, right?
I have, like,
Josh,
once.
yeah.
Slacklining was something that I was generally interested in because it looks like really fun exercise that helps your stabilization and balance. So in an effort to participate more in what was going on and to try and challenge myself physically and socially at the same time, I started trying to get myself up on the line. It was proving to be a very difficult thing for me, but after getting some help, I started to get a tiny bit better. At this point, I felt myself getting a little more comfortable with the group, and the conversation started flowing better and better. Angelique, I'm out here trying to make friends with people. How do you suggest other people do what I'm doing? How they can come off in a way that people will want to start speaking with them?
I think the best approach is to just go out and try something new, and the people will see your spirit and come to you.
Okay, I like that. As I continued my progression with my slacklining skills, I could only think of how closely related it was to the theme of this entire video. To be presented with the same challenge over and over, and by consistently stepping outside of your comfort zone to do something you'll potentially fail at, eventually you'll start to get better. After a little more slacklining and even playing some catch, talking to people started to turn into less of a challenge and more into genuine fun and excitement.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Hell yeah.
God, that hurts.
You strong as shit.
So what's up?
Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Cost to be Ross.
I mean, you seem like a very charismatic, friendly dude.
All right.
Tell them, how do you become more charismatic and confident? Like, to even take the step to say hi to someone.
Just get outside. You
Get
know what
outside
I mean?
more.
Get outside first, and just make it a habit. Just the act of moving. That's what I'll do. Just move.
And it turned out I had much more in common with who I surrounded myself with than I originally thought. A few of them were plant-based as well, and even let me try some of their food. We continued talking, and I started opening up more and more about myself and why I came to Austin, and it started to feel like I had known all these people for years, not hours.
I don't know, like find activities that you like to do and then
Meet people accordingly.
yeah, and then just go do those activities, and usually people are pretty open and like accepting to like doing activities with you, and then you just make friends like that.
Or like finding a place that you like to go to and frequent there often.
You just have to find your niche.
And then you'll find the other people that go there often, and then you can just become one.
And I can give you the most perfect example. You guys ready? The hammocks, the slackline, all things that we enjoyed to do. And whenever I moved here, I knew no one except for my little sister. I just started coming out here, throwing up the hammocks, throwing up the slacklines, and I met all the people that you'll probably see in this video and more.
And somehow, my first time being out here, I found a group of people who are vegan, and Logan is a videographer and a photographer.
You never know.
So just put yourself out there. That's really the best advice. As the sun started to set and the day was winding down, they told me that a fire spinning show was going to start in the park when it got dark out. And I mean, a fire spinning show? There was no way I was going to turn that down. We sat around the performers, admiring and applauding the dedication and effort required to perform such an awesome talent. It was a perfect end to an almost perfect day. Wow. All I can say is wow. I went into that situation expecting the worst, expecting pretty much nothing, and I came out of it having made some really awesome friends and meeting so many people. Like, to keep it real with you, I feel like I have not grinned that much in a day in a really long time. That was a really fun time. I had planned to end this video with some more tips on how to replicate the same sort of success with finding the right friend group, but everyone that I asked throughout this video summed it up pretty well. However, I definitely went to the right place at the right time and met the right people, which might not be the case when you go and try and make new friends. But just like the difficulty of trying anything new and using some of the tips shared throughout this video, if you keep putting yourself out there and you go to places where people share similar interests, you'll find your tribe eventually. Thank you to all my patrons on this channel on Patreon. If you don't know what this is, it's a platform separate from YouTube where I'm putting out exclusive content you can't get anywhere else. You can also talk to me one-on-one over the phone on there. If you want to check that out, that's in the description, patreon.com/ColeHastings. Oh man, what a great day. What a great time I had filming this. I have a whole playlist on building relationships with others. If you're interested in that, you can click on this little thing you see on screen. And that's all for this video. Thank you guys. I love you. See you soon.